Our top story, the Amazing Grace Church was broken into Tuesday night in Twin Falls. Sadly, churches are becoming easy targets for thieves. Our very own Courtney Solomon has the details.
Churches like to consider themselves a sanctuary, not a place of interest for thieves, yet they are frequently getting attacked.
This is just a part of culture. This is a part of where we live and what happens around us.
As churches focus on investing in things like expensive video and audio equipment and TVs, they are becoming more attractive to predators.
I think sometimes people just look at a church as a big building, maybe an easy target, and ultimately there probably is something even spiritual to it sometimes.
Although the break-in was unfortunate, Heiderman says they can only move forward from here.
Ultimately, this is just the world that we live in. We live in a world where there's people who do bad things, and we'll fix the door, and we just pray for them as well. We just want to make sure that they go on the right track.
In Twin Falls, I'm Courtney Solomon, Idaho's First News.
If you have any information on this crime, you're please asked to call the Twin Falls Police Department at 735-4357. Also in local news, a Twin Falls man is facing multiple felony charges following an altercation with police early Monday morning. According to court records, 20-year-old William Morgan was asked to leave a local gas station and refused. Police say he was uncooperative, and once police tried to put him in handcuffs, he kicked and spit at the officers. Police also found multiple items allegedly stolen from a funeral home, including a credit card. Morgan is being charged with burglary, grand theft, and 2 counts of battery on a police officer. Motorists traveling east along Falls Avenue yesterday were redirected while city water department crews worked on a burst water main. It occurred at the 800 block of Falls Avenue West at 7 o'clock Wednesday morning. That's just west of the intersection of Falls and Blue Lakes Boulevard. City officials say about a dozen businesses lost some water pressure due to the break. The affected water main carries clean potable water, but no boil water was put into effect. Crews responded to a call from a citizen who saw water bubbling up from a crack in the road. Twin Falls Public Information Officer Josh Palmer says that's why crews were able to respond so quickly.
What we do ask actually of citizens, though, is if they do notice water that may be bubbling up from the surface from, say, cracks in sidewalks or the roadway, is to call us immediately. And that's really what helped us today, is that we had some citizens who noticed the water coming to the surface. They contacted us. We were able to get on it right away and have this repaired. We know we'll have it repaired within 48 hours.
Now, there is no known cause at this time, but Palmer says in most instances, burst pipes are due to aging infrastructure, barring any unusually cold temperatures. St. Luke's Magic Valley, with help from local law enforcement agencies, conducted an emergency management drill early Wednesday morning. Hospital employees were asked to respond as they would during an active shooter scenario. The drill took place from 2 to 3:30 Wednesday morning in the Department of Emergency. Trish Heath, Emergency Management Coordinator with St. Luke's Magic Valley, says that hospital staff was educated on how to react and then tested in the real-life scenario.
What we did is we just actually did the whole drill. It actually takes 5 minutes for an active shooter in most cases in real life, and so that's what we did. But leading up to this, we did a lot of education again, making sure staff knew how to react, because you don't want total failure when you do something like this. You want people to be able to do a good job.
Hospitals are required to have disaster response plans put in place and to conduct drills periodically. Heath and regular hospital operations, including emergency department services, were not affected during the drill. Up in Blaine County, they got another several inches of new snow on Tuesday night, and the cost of removing and storing the new snow is also piling up. The city of Haley says that it spent $78,000 on snow removal in November and in December alone. Ketchum recently passed a city ordinance that will fine anyone who's caught storing snow in the public right-of-way. Haley already has a similar ordinance put in place.
It's been in place for decades. People in Haley are used to it, and it's done regularly. It's very rare that we actually have to say, hey, don't push your snow into the street.
Now, Ketchum is holding a public information meeting on its new snow removal regulations at Ketchum City Hall on Tuesday, January 26th at 10 a.m. We'll now turn things over to meteorologist Jack Holland for one last look at our bus stop forecast this morning.
And we are talking about quiet conditions this morning, especially compared to yesterday, but it is a couple degrees cooler, so be aware of that before you head out. Let's jump into satellite and radar, where we are talking about those quiet conditions. There are a few snow showers just to the north of Boise, but any activity across the Pacific Northwest will be well towards our west and north for today. 30 is what you're waking up to in Twin Falls, 22 in Jerome, and a pair of 23s in Burley and Haley. Now, those winds are still breezy in Jerome, currently 14 miles per hour to the northeast, lighter in Twin Falls, Burley, and in Haley. But you factor in any winds with temperatures sitting in the 20s, you're still going to have wind chill values feel like they're in the single digits. And that's the case in Jerome. 15 is what it feels like in Haley, and 23 in Twin Falls. So as you do get those kids ready for school this morning, make sure they dress warmly. Here's your Delta Dental school bus forecast. Upper 20s as they're catching the bus. Mostly sunny and chilly as they're arriving home, though. Temperatures will be able to warm into the mid-30s with a mixture of sun and clouds, which is seasonable for this time of year. Winds will be out of the east anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour. What can we expect as we end off this school week and head into the weekend? I'll let you know their full Weather Authority forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Bradley?
Thanks, Jack. Well, 2015 was the Earth's hottest year on record, and NASA scientists are saying the spike in temperatures from 2014 was substantial. So substantial, in fact, that farmers are going to notice some changes. Weijia Zhang reports in this week's edition of Grow Southern Idaho.
This Grow Southern Idaho segment is brought to you by AgWest Distributing.
How confident are you that the Earth will continue to warm?
Extremely confident.
NASA scientist Compton Tucker says that's because Earth has been getting warmer for decades, and 2015 hit a high mark.
Since we had data to determine global average temperatures by year, which started in 1880.
Last year, the average temperature around the world was 58.6 degrees Fahrenheit, up by a record margin, 0.23 degrees from 2014. Tucker says global warming is responsible.
The reason this is happening is because of the buildup of greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which acts as an insulating blanket around the Earth.
NASA monitors Earth's vital signs with a fleet of satellites, each one highlighted here on this animated graphic. They circle the planet 24/7 from land, air, and space.
The satellite information really helps us with things like sea level, to understand how high the seas are and how that's changing regionally.
Deke Arndt processes data for NOAA, compiling information from around the globe. He says as the climate changes, so will the weather.
A warmer atmosphere can carry more water to places when a storm occurs.
Like extreme flooding in the Midwest, unseasonably warm temperatures on the East Coast in December, and the strong El Nino that warmed parts of the Pacific Ocean, which changes weather worldwide. Scientists believe 2016 will be even warmer. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Greenbelt, Maryland.
Scientists say that climate change does not always drive weather patterns. Just because the Earth as a whole is warmer doesn't mean we don't experience cold fronts and snowstorms. More often, it leads to extremes in the weather. And speaking of weather, here's meteorologist Jack Holland for a look at what's coming up.
Hey, thanks, Bradley. We'll take a look at those weather headlines, but we are waking up to a mostly clear and chilly start this morning. A few degrees cooler than yesterday, but hey, at least we're not dealing with the snow and rain. Well, partly sunny skies as we head into the afternoon with seasonable highs. Will that be the case as we head into the weekend? I'll let you know their full Weather Authority forecast after the break.
Plus, the Republican presidential campaign trail continues to heat up. We'll take a look at what the candidates are doing just a few weeks before the Iowa caucuses.
From Idaho's First News, here's a look at your weather with meteorologist Jack Holland.
Good morning, Southern Idaho, and happy Thursday. We are waking up to some chilly temperatures this morning, but hey, at least we're not seeing the rain and snow. 22 is what you're seeing in Jerome, 23 in Burley, 30 at the Magic Valley Regional Airport, and currently 23 in Haley. Now, there is a system that is pushing on shore across the Pacific Northwest. In front of it, though, it's a southwesterly flow that's actually going to bring drying and warming conditions by Friday across Southern Idaho. Today, I think we're going to see highs similar to yesterday. And you can see those rain and snow showers moving through Washington State and the Panhandle of the Gem State, but very quiet across Southern Idaho, and that's going to be the case here for the next 24 to 36 hours. Then heading into Friday evening, we'll be talking about a chance to see some mountain snow showers. Then Saturday will be our best chance to see scattered rain and snow showers all across Southern Idaho. This morning, it's going to be a pretty quiet morning commute for you. Winds out of the east anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour with mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions. Heading into the afternoon, we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. Winds primarily out of the east anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour. At times in Jerome, we could see sustained winds reaching 20 miles per hour. And then as we go into your Friday morning, expect those clouds to be on the increase. Those winds continue to come out of the east, and we'll have increasing cloud coverage going into your Friday afternoon. Friday night, like I was saying, we'll have a chance to see those mountain snow showers primarily across the Wood River Valley. Then Saturday, scattered rain and snow showers all across southern Idaho. For this Thursday, we're calling for a high of 32 and Ketchum 33 in Haley. Winds will be out of the southeast anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour. And the Magic Valley will range from the mid-30s in Jerome to lower 40s in Glenns Ferry. 35 will be your high in Gooding with partly sunny skies. Twin Falls, I think you hit a high of 37 today with those winds out of the east anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour. And into the Mini-Gouge region, expect those highs to reach the mid-30s. 36 for you in Burley. Here's your 7-day forecast, calling for a high of 40 degrees on Friday, so a couple degrees above average for this time of year. Lower 40s with those scattered rain and snow showers on Saturday. A few morning rain and snow showers on Sunday, partly sunny by Sunday afternoon, and a little bit cooler as we start off the next work week with highs hanging around the mid-30s. For my locations, evening snow showers on Friday. Better chance to see scattered snow showers will be on Saturday. Some residual moisture will be in place Sunday morning, so we could see a few flurries, but by Tuesday and Monday, we will have dry conditions, highs in the upper 20s to lower 30s. And there's a look at your Weather Authority forecast.
Continuing with some weather-related news, parts of the East Coast are gearing up for a potentially paralyzing winter storm. The D.C. metropolitan area got a taste of what's to come Wednesday when another storm system caused major traffic headaches, even for President Obama. Snow is expected to begin falling in the Central Plains today, then move into the Northeast Corridor on Friday, where more than a foot of snow is expected for some states. Michigan Governor Rick Snyder is asking the president once again to declare a disaster in Flint to help fix the city's water crisis. In an interview with CBS's Scott Pelley yesterday, Snyder said there is ongoing testing of lead levels in the water. President Obama called it unacceptable and inexcusable that people in the community weren't notified immediately of this issue. And teachers in Detroit are vowing to continue protests today over recent pay cuts and what they call deplorable conditions at their schools. Nearly all the city's public schools were closed Wednesday when the educators staged a massive sick-out. The Detroit School District had sought a temporary injunction to prevent another strike. Well, the GOP race is continuing to heat up, with Donald Trump gaining Sarah Palin on the trail and a new lead in the polls. A new CNN poll finds Trump holding a 20% lead among Republican voters in the Granite State. That's more than double his nearest competitor, Ted Cruz. Don Champion has more on how the GOP candidates are fighting for votes.
Donald Trump is riding high off the endorsement of Tea Party favorite Sarah Palin. Wednesday, the former Republican vice presidential nominee hit the road with Trump in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Are you ready to stump for Trump? I'm here to support the next president of the United States of America.
Everybody wanted her endorsement. She said, "What you're doing, Donald, is amazing. It's a movement, and it is a movement."
Palin's endorsement is looked at as being a blow to Trump's rival Ted Cruz. The men are neck and neck in Iowa, less than 2 weeks away from the caucuses. Campaigning in New Hampshire, Cruz tried painting Trump as the new Washington establishment candidate.
There are a whole lot of people in this country that feel exactly the same way, that are fed up with Republican leadership that makes all sorts of promises to get elected and then sells this country down the river.
Hillary Clinton will win. Trying to create a spark, Jeb Bush released a new online ad Wednesday featuring a fake news story showing Hillary Clinton winning the election if Trump becomes the Republican nominee. Candidates like Bush are hoping the billionaire and Cruz will lose momentum once voting starts.
The President of the United States needs to have a steady hand, needs to have leadership skills, needs to have a backbone and a heart and a brain.
On Saturday, the Des Moines Register newspaper in Iowa will unveil its highly influential endorsement of a GOP candidate. Don Champion, CBS News.
Donald Trump will continue to campaign in Las Vegas today, while Cruz, Rubio, Christie, and Bush will all spend the day stumping in New Hampshire. Switching now to health news this morning, new research is finding women diagnosed with melanoma during pregnancy or the year after have a greater risk of cancer reoccurring or spreading and even causing death. The Cleveland Clinic study looked at hundreds of medical records of young women. Researchers say hormones or changes in the immune system during pregnancy may drive the cancer. A new test could help doctors determine a person's risk for dementia. London researchers use records from hundreds of thousands of patients to develop a formula that predicts the risk of being diagnosed with dementia within 5 years. Researchers say the test worked well in people 60 to 79, but not in patients over 80. And a new study shows patients treated in hospitals with the best nursing care have much lower rates of dying after surgery. The study published in JAMA Surgery compared patients at more than 300 hospitals. Finally, in health news this morning, researchers at Duke Health have developed a blood test that can tell if a patient's illness is a viral or bacterial infection. And as Danielle Nottingham reports from Los Angeles, knowing the cause of an illness can help doctors determine the correct treatment.
Scientists at this lab at Duke Health have come up with a blood test that can distinguish whether a respiratory infection is bacterial or viral.
Bacterial infections are ones that typically are treated with antibiotics, whereas viral infections like the common cold are typically just treated supportively. Bed rest, fluids, Tylenol.
Dr. Ephraim Salik and his team developed what they call gene signatures, patterns that show which genes are turned on and off when a person is fighting a particular infection. By distinguishing between a viral and bacterial infection, doctors hope to cut down on the overuse of antibiotics, which has led to the rise of antibiotic-resistant superbugs.
The more antibiotics someone takes, especially when they don't need them, that does expose them to other effects on their overall health, and it also puts them at higher risk for developing resistant infections later on.
So far, the test is 87% accurate, but the results take about 10 hours. Duke is trying to create a 1-hour version that clinics can use in the next couple of years. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
If it's happening in our community, we're keeping you in the know.
And it is time to get you in the know with one of my favorite guests ever, Vanessa Toulson. She's back this morning, as we've teased all morning, to talk about a boot camp fitness seminar you guys have going on that is completely free.
That's right. We decided
with a stipulation.
That's right. There's always the asterisk, right? So the only thing that we require for you guys to attend our absolutely free boot camp and nutrition seminar series is that you share it on social media. So it's a very social event anyway. We wanted to get the whole community behind a huge movement for the new year, and so we thought what better way than to be social with it.
Yeah, and to have a free boot camp seminar kind of going on, you don't have to pay for a membership to join the gym and stick to your New Year's resolution. Nope. This is free.
That's right. So what we did, we teamed up with Captain Edwards at the Idaho Army National Guard. Aubrey and I are very connected to the Army National Guard. Obviously, I spent a lot of time there in my service years.
Yeah.
And her brother is a big part of that unit there. So we have been able to use that facility to have these workouts every Saturday morning from 7 to 8. We do a killer workout. Aubrey does the workout. Her nickname is Diablo, and you will find out when you show up why. Yeah, and then from 8 to 8:20 or 8:30, I do a free nutrition seminar. So we change up the workouts and the topics every week so that each progressive week you're getting something new. Doesn't matter if you start now or if you started at the beginning, though. You're not going to miss out on, you know, what's going on. It's just a new start every Saturday morning.
Okay, very good. And we should mention it's Aubrey Spencer.
That's right.
And she's an official Diet Doc
coach now.
Coach, yeah,
Yep.
which is great. You've added to your little
to my arsenal.
Which is fantastic. We need a little arsenal here in Twin Falls that's going to kick everyone's rears, and you guys definitely do that.
That's right.
Talk about kind of what you guys learn in the actual seminar, because that's what you mainly focus on.
Absolutely. I actually participate in the workout, and people assume that I have some cardio skills, and I do not. This is me branching out like I promised I would do on our New Year's resolution. I've actually been taking Aubrey's yoga class.
Have you?
Too. I have.
Okay.
I'm sticking with it, and I want you guys to too. So we are able to have all of these seminars. This week's topic is going to be protein, why it's important, and I'm actually going to do a live meal prepping demo, which is huge because a lot of people think, I need to track my food, but it's very daunting until you see it live.
Honestly, I think that is the hardest part the absolute hardest part about getting fit and trying to really take on the new year, the new goals, and sticking to your resolutions is the eating.
It is.
The food
Absolutely.
is so hard.
It's all about the food. So that's obviously why I come into play here. If we just had a workout series, we would be just like any other gym in the Valley. But we really want to pair the most important parts. And one of those important parts is motivation.
Yeah.
Coming to these boot camps sets your weekend up for success. You are going to come, you're going to be energized, your body's going to be sore, your brain's going to be full, and you're going to go on with your week with this information.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the boot camp then, specifically what Diablo has you guys doing.
The Diablo has new things in store each week. So this week is Cardio Blast, and I'm told to just bring water and maybe say a little prayer before I come.
All right.
She doesn't necessarily give it away. You just need to come and know we have all levels of fitness. So we have grandmothers, we have elite athletes, we have beginners, we even have some teenagers there. So don't feel like you have to be at any certain level to come. Just show up with a good attitude and a water bottle.
All right, so the class may sound a little bit intimidating, but it's not too bad.
It's not. It's at your own level. So all you need to do is show up at 7 a.m. with an open mind.
How long is the class?
The class 7 to 8 is the workout. 8 to 8:20 is my seminar, and then we stay after for questions.
Okay, very good.
It's at the National Guard Armory. If you guys want more info, just shoot over to Facebook. It's Vanessa Toulson Fit Matters. We have all the information there, and you guys can ask questions, or you can email me at vanessa@thedietdoc.com.
Perfect. Vanessa, thanks for joining us. Always great. Will you stick around for our Facebook question of the day?
Of course.
Thank you. I love it when you stick around for that. So just ahead, we have our Facebook question of the day. It's our favorite thing to do here. We'll be back with that after the break. Welcome back to Rise and Shine. It's time for our Facebook question of the day. Vanessa Toulson stuck around. The Diet Doc is here. Today we're asking, not a very Diet Doc-esque question, but we want to know what TV shows you've been watching lately. Vanessa, we'll start with you.
I binge watched Making a Murderer.
Is he innocent or guilty?
I think he's innocent. It's not over. They teased us. I'm sure there's second series.
There's more to come?
I don't think they could have planned for how amazing that documentary was going to turn out.
I started it last weekend, got about an episode and a half in, and I was over it.
Well, I feel like it takes a certain mischievous mind to get into it.
You know me.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with you. Keep watching. Keep watching.
Okay, people have raved about it. It's all over the place.
It's really, really good.
What about you, John?
I've been watching Hell on Wheels on Netflix, which is really good. Yeah, it's about when they're building the railroads out west.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's pretty interesting.
That might be my next pick.
What about you?
I stopped watching it for a long time, just like the rest of America, but since it's the final season, I've gotten really into American Idol this season.
Do you have an early favorite or no?
No, I don't at all, but Ariel, her friend was on it, and she did this rendition of Radioactive that was so good, and she was like the quirkiest little girl. It was fantastic. So watch for her. She's friends with our very own Ariel Harrison. Yeah, for sure. So we'll get over to what you guys are saying over here. Susan says, KVT's Rise and Shine, and Joe Keena, Homicide Hunter. Thank you for watching Rise and Shine, first of all. Paul says Rise and Shine, then it's off to work for more ATV stuff. Will says Home Improvement, always. David Blake says How I Met Your Mother. Then we have Rebecca who says NCIS. Grey's Anatomy from Carolyn. And David says NCIS. Thanks everybody for commenting this morning. Thanks for being here, Vanessa. We always love having you for both the interview and Facebook question of the day. That's going to do it for us this morning. Thank you very much for tuning in to Rise and Shine. We'll see you a bit later on in the day for Idaho's First News at noon. Until then, have a great morning.